Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your practice. I'm happy to have you here with me for this free flow Friday practice, whether you're joining us in the morning or any time of day. This is a beautiful grounding practice, and you might hear Baxter or Tortilla snoring in the background. It's so grounding, I guess. So welcome. We'll start seated. So I'd recommend having something, a blanket or underneath the seat or cushion, or even sitting in a chair, just so that you can feel that your spine is nice and tall and you don't have to work too hard at it this morning. So Tortilla's over here in the background. So find your comfortable seat, bring your furry friends with you, and we'll start to check in. So gently close your eyes or gaze down the tip of your nose and soften the eyes. Allow the seat and the legs to become more in contact with what you're sitting on. And from that grounded place, feel the spine rise up nice and tall without being rigid. Allow the chin to be level with the floor. Face is soft, maybe a little smile to greet you this morning. And once you found your seat, allow the mind to wander to sound either inside or outside your practice space. So there are cars moving by in my space. There's a dog snoring. Just letting the mind wander to sound. And then allow those sounds to fade into the background. Again, adjust your seat if you found any tension. And begin to tune into the breath. So notice where you begin today. Is the breath shallow or deep? Is it ragged or smooth? Do you notice the breath higher or lower in the body? Is the breath fast or slow? Just taking in these assessments as information. So no judgment, just information on where you begin. Now bring the hands in front of you like you're holding something quite fragile. Let the fingers be soft. Let the palms have some space between them. Okay. Again, soften through the shoulders. Let the sit bones be grounded, legs grounded. And as you exhale, gently let the hands float away from each other. And as you inhale, let the hands move towards one another without touching. So exhale, hands float away from each other. Inhale, hands float towards one another. And use this movement to smooth out your breath. So one breath, one movement moves right into the next. No pause, no jerk. And notice that just as you ground into your seat or find the earth, the stable earth beneath you, you can ground into your breath and find stability and steadiness in that breath. Last few rounds here. And then release your hands to your lap with the eyes open, and we'll come onto hands and knees. So if the floor that you're working on is hard, Then you can place a blanket or a cushion underneath the knees. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin. And as you inhale, soften the belly, lift the heart. And continue with your breath. So this practice will be minimal instruction, as minimal as I can give. I tend to give a lot. So really not worrying about what my posture looks like, but more feeling what is good for you, what is right for you today. Taking in what you hear, taking what works, and leaving behind what does not. Continuing with our cat-cow here, a few more rounds. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands forward and your knees back, and we'll lower to the floor. Legs out long behind you. Reach the arms forward, tent up on your fingertips. Push into your toes and your belly. As you inhale, lift your heart. Pull back on the hands. As you exhale, gently lower. Inhale, push into the legs, the pubic bone grounded. And exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale to lower. Bring the arms out wide, so elbows bend, fingertips off of the mat in line with the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe lift a little higher. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you lower. 2 more times. Bring the hands right by the chest. Draw the elbows back. Inhale, lift the heart. And go ahead and stay. So you can press into the hands firmly or be light on the hands. Feel that difference. But again, feel you're very grounded in the hips, in the toes, in the legs. And then lift the heart from there. As you inhale, gently gaze over that right shoulder. Draw the elbows back. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, look over that left shoulder. Draw the elbows back. Inhale, back to center. Lengthen through the top of your head and lower. Push into the hands. Push back into tabletop pose. And back to downward facing dog. So upside down V. Take any movements that feel good for you. Pedal the feet, sway the hips, shake the head yes and no. Keep that breath moving. Nice. And then from here, walk your feet towards the center of your mat. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold, little ragdoll here. Rock from side to side. Bend the knees, round up the spine, coming all the way up to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And hands to heart center here. Shift your weight into your right foot. And then bend the left knee and turn it out. Okay, so toes can stay on the floor. We're going to take tree pose right away in our practice. So if balance is a little bit challenging for you, you've got a wall maybe, or keep the toes on the floor. You can also start to bring that foot up the inner right leg. Okay, so again, find that grounding, push down into what's touching the floor, so that foot. And then from there, lift up through the spine, the heart, the top of the head. And then find that grounding in your breath. So one breath flows into the next. And this may be very wobbly. We may fall out of it several times, and that's just fine. We fall out, we come back. We forget our breath, we come back. And when you're ready, release. Go ahead and shake it out. And we'll move to the other side. So shift your weight into that left foot. Turn the right knee out and bring the sole of the foot to the ankle, to the calf, or higher. You can use your hand to bring that foot up. But again, the foot placement, not so concerned about. We want to feel that we're grounded in the legs so that we can lift up and find some ease in the posture, some easy breath as well. And then release, place the foot down. We'll step to the top of our mat. My creaky floor here. Try to move around that. And we'll take some salutations here. More moon-like salutations, more inward focused, okay, to keep us centered. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, side bend to your right. Push the hips to the left. Inhale back to center. Side bend to your left, hips to the right. Inhale, center, cactus the arms, lift your heart, push into your feet. Exhale, reach up, arms wide, forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen, and then step your right foot back and the knee comes down. Okay, inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Again, ground through your feet. Take a breath or two here. Place your right hand to the floor, sweep that left arm to the sky for a twist. You can also use a block here or a stack of books. Push into the feet, reach the arms up, come back to your lunge, and then release the hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Back of the neck long. Rock forward to plank, very stable, steady posture. Lower the knees, send the hips back into child's pose. Maybe tap your forehead to the floor. Come back to plank pose, breath nice and easy. And then back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet, stack your hips over the ankles, release the head and neck. Strong legs, rise to stand. Reach on up. And hands to heart. So take a little walk towards the top of your mat. Let it be mindful here. Feel your feet rolling from heel to toe. And we'll take the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, side bend to your left, hips to the right. Inhale, center. Side bend to your right, hips to the left. Inhale, center. Cactus the arms. Reach the arms up and forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen, and send that left foot back and the knee comes down. Reach the arms up, again, push into your feet. We'll be here for a couple of breaths. So as you push down and ground and steady, feel that you can rise up through the elbows and through the fingertips here. Nice. Release your left hand to the floor or to a block and reach that right arm up for your twist. You can gaze to the floor for even more grounding, that steady gaze, or gaze up towards the sky, but really focusing on that connection with the earth. Release the hands, reach back up, lunge. And hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank, reach the heart forwards. Child's pose, lower the knees, release the head. Plank pose. And downward facing dog. Walk your hands back toward your feet again, forward fold. Inhale, push into the feet, reach the arms widen up. And hands to heart center. Maybe lead with the opposite foot this time. Again, taking a nice slow walk to the top of your mat as you make your costume adjustments as well. Inhale, leave the arms up and overhead. We'll move into some standing poses. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen, and step your right foot back, turn the heel down. Push into the legs and cartwheel the arms up for warrior two. So adjust your stance again so you feel very stable, taking up space here. Inhale, push into the feet, straighten that front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink back into your warrior two. And then continue just like that. So just as we were doing seated, okay, moving the hands towards and away from each other, use this movement, a little bigger movement, to smooth out your breath. So inhale, movement lasts as long as the inhale, no pause, exhale, come back to warrior two. A few more just like that. Last one. And then keep your arms at a T. Heel toe that back foot forward, just an inch or two. Straighten that front leg. Lean forward a lot, tilt. And this bottom hand can go above or below the knee, top arm to the sky. Triangle pose. And I recommend that you gaze down towards your big toe today. Feel that strength of that triangle in the legs. Bend your front knee deeply, forearm to thigh, and sweep your top arm over the ear. So side angle posture. And as we remain in these poses, find that steadiness, that stability in your breath and the connection with the earth. Notice when the mind floats away to other things, and then gently, kindly draw it back. Breath, connection with the earth. Come back to warrior two. Heel toe that back foot forward and bring the hands to heart center. We're going to turn the shoulders and the hips forward and take eagle pose. Okay, so I'll face you. You're going to bring that back foot forward, swing it up and over, cross the legs. So the toes can touch the floor, right? Or you can cross higher and lift that foot. Welcome to also take the wrapping that top foot around the back calf. So again, a wobbly posture maybe, depending on the day. So allow yourself to adjust here. Feel the grounding in the feet, the hips, the breath, and then lift up through the heart, the top of the head. Beautiful. Unwind, step that top leg back. Okay. Straighten that front leg, reach the arms up and overhead. Sweep that hands behind you to the low back as you tilt forward. Inhale, push into the feet, straighten the spine, reach up. Exhale, tilt from the hips and lean forward, hands to the low back. A couple more just like that, just feeling it out. Front knee can be soft. This time we'll stay in our angle posture. So you can have the hands supporting you above or below the knee. You can also start to lean forward, melt forward, hands to the floor or to your blocks at any height. But when you get to your forward fold, release the upper body. Lift halfway, lengthen. And then gently step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, push into the feet, rise to stand, reach up. and hands to heart center. So take a moment here, adjust. And then we'll take the other side. So inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen, and step your left foot back and turn the toes out, heel down. Push down into the legs and reach, cartwheel the arms up to your warrior two. And again, adjust so that you feel very stable. Okay. And now we'll start to move. So kind of a moving meditation. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, reach up. You can turn your head to the side. And as you exhale, come to warrior two, look over those front fingertips. And then keep moving with your breath. So rather than stopping between inhale and exhale, allow one to flow right into the next. So we train the mind to stay with the breath. We train our movements to stay with the breath as well. Come back to warrior two. Keep that steady breath. Extend through that right leg, maybe heel toe that back foot forward an inch or two, and then tilt forward, hand above or below that bottom leg, reach the top arm to the sky. So triangle pose. Keep the back of the neck long. See how I get into instruction. I love breaking down postures, so make your triangle your own. The feeling we're going for more than a particular alignment is this grounding and feeling like we can lift up and out through the heart, the top arm, and that we can breathe easy. Seems like there's a construction vehicle outside. Bend into that front knee, side angle pose. Reach that top arm over the ear. And when we stay in a pose, it's a beautiful time to experiment. So where do I need to activate? Maybe push into my feet, maybe reach through that top arm. And then where do I need to soften? Maybe my shoulders, maybe my eyes. And then I go deeper and tune into my breath. When you're ready, push down to come up, warrior two. And then we'll take that eagle pose again. So hands to heart center and take any transitions that you need. I like to walk my back foot forward, shift my weight, and swing that back leg up and over. Okay, again, take the foot to the floor or cross the legs higher. So it's a little bit more unsteady. We don't have as much as many body parts touching the floor, right? So we're gonna wobble, okay? We may fall out. Use that wall or whatever is around you. But when you do find even a millisecond of stillness, allow yourself to enjoy that. Unwind, step that left foot back. Straighten that front leg and reach the arms up and overhead. We'll do those moving angle postures. So come back to steady breath as you lean forward, hands behind you. Inhale, strong legs, lift the heart, reach the arms. And bowing into ourselves and all of the wonder, the beauty that is within, the creativity, the drive, compassion, joy. Lean forward and stay. And again, you can use your hand above or below that knee or hands to blocks or floor. But once you get there, just slightly release the head and the neck. Maybe find space for breath in the back body as you inhale and exhale. Lift halfway, lengthen. Soften that front knee and reach the arms up. And then hands come to heart center as you step forward, mountain pose. So taking a moment here, coming back to mountain. Allow yourself to breathe. 2 feet grounded, steady, legs strong. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, reach up. Soften the knees, forward fold. Lift halfway. And take a step back to downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the floor, reach the heart forward. Untuck your toes and send your hips back, child's pose. You can soften the elbows here. Come back to that smooth, steady breath. And then look forward, come back to hands and knees. Shift your hips to one side and we'll bring the legs out in front of us. Come to the center of your mat and we'll lay down. So we'll take a few spine and abdominal strengtheners. Again, feeling like we have steadiness, stability for our day. Really grounded, centered in the core. So from here, draw the knees into the chest, bring the hands behind you, behind the head, I should say. And as you're ready, gently lift the head and the shoulders, look towards your knees. And we'll take some slow bicycles. So right knee comes in to the left elbow, left leg lengthen, and then come back through center. Right elbow to left knee and back to center. And so the slower we go, the more challenging it will be. Allow one breath, one movement to move into the next. Last round to each side. And coming back to center, draw the knees in and let your belly soften. And make our way onto our bellies. So you can rock and roll up and down the spine if you like, or simply flip over like a pancake. But I'll meet you on your belly. Arms down by the sides, legs close together. Exhale, press the pubic bone down, lift the belly. And as you inhale, lift the legs, upper body, reach the arms. Okay, and we'll hold here. So strengthen in the backs of the arms, lengthen through the toes and the top of your head. And then move into that steady breath. So lots of the body in contact with the floor. The gaze is at the floor. You can feel your belly press into the floor as you breathe. So that deep connection with the earth. And then rest. Turn your head to one side. And turn your head center. You can keep the arms down by your sides, or you can interlace the fingers and push the knuckles back towards the back of your mat. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, hover the legs, the upper body, and the arms. And again, move more deeply into that steady breath once you find your pose. Lower, release, melt into the floor, turn your head the opposite direction, rest. So final variation, you can take either of the previous two, or you can bend the knees and reach back for the ankles or the tops of the feet. Again, navel draws in, pubic bone presses down, and whether you have the legs bent or straight, as you're ready, inhale and lift the upper body. So if you're in downward facing bow, you'll want to push the feet into the hands and use the strength of your legs to lift the chest. And it doesn't need to be big. Again, we're looking for, some challenge. We want to wake ourselves up, but also the ability to find some ease in the posture. And then rest. Create a pillow with your hands. Let your feet come a little wider than your hips and just shake the hips from side to side. Let your breath flow easy. Come back to center, hands underneath you, and we'll push up to seated. So this may be where you want to bring back in your blanket underneath your hips or your cushion, or sit in a chair. All right, so we'll take an easy twist. Right shin will come in front of the left. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. And as you inhale, feel the sit bones ground, lift through the top of the head. As you exhale, draw the navel in and feel that twist. Keep your left hand outside your right knee. Sweep that right arm up and over. Let your head and neck relax. So gaze where is most appropriate for your head and your neck. Come back upright. Reach both arms up and overhead again. And twist to your left. So as you inhale, ground into the legs, the seat. Lift to the top of the head. And then as you exhale, move into your twist. Turn your head forward, really grab onto that outer thigh and reach that left arm up and over. Deep side stretch here. Inhale, come back to center, lift your heart. Walk your hands forward and forward, fold any amount. So whether you're sitting up tall or whether you're folded quite forward, release. You may have already had people in your household moving around and getting active with their day. And we can send them well wishes as we practice and come back to our bodies and our breath. Push back up to seated. We'll bring the hands behind us to uncross and recross the legs. Inhale, lift the heart again. Exhale, forward fold again. And this side might be different. One hip might be a little tighter or different than the other, right? So always an experiment, a question of where you can find ease in the posture. Lift your head, lift your body, come on out. And we'll bring the legs forward out in front of us for a forward fold. So keep the knees fairly bent to start. The knees can be wider than the hips to give the belly and the chest some space. And wrap your hands or your arms underneath the thighs here. You can grab opposite forearms or opposite elbows if it's there for you, opposite wrists. And let the belly rest on the thighs here. So inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round in the upper body, release your head and neck. And this may be where you stay. You may start to slide the heels forward as the body folds forward. Okay, so go to your edge and no further, to where you find some stretch, but also where you can still breathe, okay? And we'll be here for about 5 to 8 breaths. So noticing if the mind wanders. That's what the mind does. And it's up to us to gently, kindly draw the mind back to what we're doing, where we are. Last few breaths here. And release the hands, push the hands into the floor to lift the spine upright, sit up nice and tall. We'll bend the knees, come off of our props if you were using one, and come down onto our backs. So draw the knees into the chest here. And once again, feel that steady, stable earth beneath you. The steadiness, the length of your spine that supports you, allows you to move through your day. And let the shoulders, the hips soften back into that support. Draw the knees wide. You can keep the hands outside the knees or draw the hands inside and grab around the shins, the ankles, or the soles of the feet for happy baby. So lots of variations of happy baby. Again, the hand placement up to you. You can let the feet, the soles of the feet face the sky. But wherever you've chosen to be, again, come back to that grounding. Back of the shoulders soft, hips relaxed into the earth, head relaxed. And then begin to smooth and ease, refine your breath. And release, draw the knees back in, curl into a tight little ball. Draw the knees towards the face. And when you're ready, set the feet down, release the upper body down. And we'll make our way to Shavasana. So lengthen the legs long. If that's okay with your back, you're welcome to keep the knees bent. Knees touch in towards one another here. Right? So find your final resting posture. And take any props that you need. If you'd like something behind the knees or underneath the head, and to feel supported, please take that. And as you start to settle in, gently let the eyes flutter closed or be soft. Allow the feet to flop open, arms away from the body, palms face up. And in our kind of theme of coming back to earth, feeling the stability, steadiness around us and within us, feel the back body with every exhale. Feel the back body start to settle in and melt even further into the floor. So with every exhale, feel the heels, the calves, the glutes, the back, the arms, the back of the head. Get a little more heavy. Allow your breath to be easy. One inhale flows into the next. Exhale, and the exhale flows back into the inhale. Now sensing your front body, the toes, the shins, the fronts of the legs, the belly, rib cage, the heart, the face. With every exhale, allow the front body to sink, melt into the back body. Back body deeply grounded into the earth. Sounds may come and go. The mind may float away. That's fine. But gently draw your attention when you notice. That's our yoga. When you notice, gently draw the mind back to your practice, feeling the body rooted, grounded, and feeling the earth and your breath rise to meet you. So, as much as you settle, the earth rises to support you. Your inhales and exhales support you. Allowing the self to rest here for just one more minute. And now begin to bring yourself back. Of course, if you do have more time to rest, then please do. But when it's time to move on, allow your breath to deepen. Become aware of your fingers and toes. And gently run the thumbs across the tips of the fingers. And begin to wiggle the toes. You might turn the head from side to side gently. And then start to move through the ankles, the wrists. Maybe reach the arms up and overhead and lengthen the legs long. Big stretch. Big breath. And greeting your day. Bend the knees. Place the feet flat to the floor. And we'll gently roll to one side. You can rest your head in your arm or on a blanket or a block. Once again, feel that unconditional support of the earth and your breath within. Use your hands to press to a nice tall seat. Eyes soft or closed. When we come back to where we began, and bring your hands to heart center. And notice if it is easier now to feel that connection with the earth. And with your breath, maybe even placing one hand to the heart, fingertips to the floor, maybe out to the side or in front of you here. And as you breathe in, taking in the nourishment, the energy of your practice today. And as you breathe out, letting that nourishment expand and fill the body from head to toe. Two more like that. Inhaling the benefits of your practice, the steadiness, the grounding. Exhaling, letting that expand throughout, nourish your body. One more time. And thank you for your practice today, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning or whenever you've been able to practice. Uh, Each practice makes a difference. So whether this is your first time or your 1 millionth time, keep coming back to your mat, keep discovering something new, and may you go out into the world with a sense of grounding and ease and joy. I'll see you next time.